$1999, we go back to Camp Randall Stadium in Madison, and a raucous finish, which we'll get into momentarily. It was a year in which Tiger Woods would dominate the sport of golf. A former pro wrestler by the name of Jesse the Body Ventura would be elected governor of the state of Minnesota. Colorado became the center of some unwanted national attention with the Columbine High School massacre. 2 students from Columbine would march with the Blue Knights this year. You can find their story elsewhere on this Legacy DVD. JFK Jr., his wife, and her sister died in a small plane crash in the Atlantic off Martha's Vineyard. And at the box office, one of those cases of what goes around comes around. Star Wars is back. This time it's the prequel, The Phantom Menace. And on the field that year, a little bit of what goes around comes around, another tie.
Well, they should have handed out ties as DCI souvenirs that year. The crowd was not happy. When you say a raucous finish, you're not joking. But luckily enough for us, it was 2 worthy champions. California dominates the title scene. Blue Devils make it a record number 10 with hypnotic, rhythmic power and top-flight dance. They take Malambo. Remember Phantom playing that? Well, now they take this Alberto Ginastera piece and turn it into this hip, exotic, pumping piece of work. Unbelievable. Only the Blue Devils could do it.
And Wayne Downey only could arrange it.
Only Wayne. And then talk about a contrast. Their state rivals for the state championship. Number 6 for Santa Clara, their 6th championship with a minimalist show. Philip Glass, their opener, The Canyon. It builds to this huge, strident climax and right back down again. Audience wasn't buying it the first season.
It took a while in the early season. They just were not buying into this one.
But by finals, Santa Clara just convinces you this is what you want to watch. And believe me, they won the title with it. Right under them, Cavaliers. Drill writer Mike Gaines with a new move, the Diamond Cutter, and it's 4-man blades that seem to chop up a big wedge as it comes at you.
This year, the Glassmen proved that they were for real. The finish from the year before, no fluke.
No, not a chance there. Here's a Kodai program. They all played really unusual music that year, and that makes top 5. Boston, I think.
Finally.
It's the longest wait in DCI. They finally make finals, and they do it in grand style. Remember, they're founded in 1940, so they've been at it since the start of DCI, and here they are making finals. We always kind of predict things to come, and I think Boston is the core to watch this year as well.
Back to the Marching Arts Network. This is the My Favorites of the 90s. This is the final episode in the series, the year of 1999. A lot of cool things. The best thing is it went back to Camp Randall Stadium, DCI, finally back at a real stadium. I really did not like Orlando. Like I said, 96, 97, 98, not a great stadium. They sounded great. Everybody sounded really good there, but man, that stadium was not good. The lights are so much better in Camp Randall. You're going to see when you see the video, you're going to be like, wow, it's so much brighter and better and cleaner. The stadium looks great. So fantastic year for drum corps. So many great corps. But before we get there, make sure that you subscribe. That way you get notified when we have cool videos like the one you're watching right now. All throughout the summer of 2024, you're going to be seeing a lot of videos happening. We are really trying our best. Myself, Toomer, and then Jen is also going to be creating some videos, I think, throughout the summer. But we're really trying to bring everything we can to you in terms of scores, recaps, what's going on, show reveals like we had this last podcast this previous week, and you may or may not have seen it, but we want to bring as much content to you, and the only way we can do that is if you subscribe. Then you get notified, and you don't rely on the algorithm to generate what you're going to see. So I always subscribe to channels. If I watch a couple of their videos and enjoy them, I'm just going to subscribe. It doesn't hurt me. Then I get notified when I have when they have some new content, and I get to watch it. And you never know. But thank you guys so much for joining me. We are going to be looking at the year of 1999. Once again, another tie year between the Blue Devils and Santa Clara Vanguard. So, interesting. And it's also another tie in my brain for which show I wanted to do, because there's so many great shows this year. So we had Blue Devils. Let me just pull up the repertoire. I don't think let me see if I can pull it up here. So Blue Devils, Rhythms at the Edge of Time, a great freaking show from top to bottom, just nonstop, just in your face greatness. Santa Clara Vanguard, also a great show. Also some amazing music in this show. Cavaliers, Cadets. This was an interesting show, the Big Apple. I think they had those taxi cabs, like taxi cab doors on. That was really interesting. Empire of Gold, so continuing that Gold series. Glassman also got 5th place. Great show. Madison Scouts, selections from Jesus Christ Superstar. Blue Knights, Phantom Regiment, Boston Crusaders, 9th place. Crossman, Carolina Crown, and Colts. So Colts making it in again from the previous year. And then Blue Coats barely missed. They got 13th place that year. Interesting. And then Magic of Orlando, Southwind, Spirit of Atlanta, Pioneer, Patriots, Mandarins in 20th place. So very cool. They were moving up. All right, so let's go ahead and... So what was my pick for 1999? So I toiled over this one right before I was recording this video. I toiled because I really love the Blue Devil show. I mean, I love that show. That's honestly one of my favorite all-time shows. But when I went back and kind of looked at the 99 Santa Clara show, it was also an epic show for them. It was a great show. They had some great shows in the 90s too, don't get me wrong, but I think they really started picking up steam around 97, 98, 99, and really kind of projected them, pulled them back up into the upper echelon again. Let me see if I can pick some previous years just to kind of see where they were score-wise. So Santa Clara started in 6th place in 1990. Great show, Carmen. You know, some people hit or miss for them. Miss Saigon, great show in terms of visual. I really wasn't playing wise. I think it was the instruments really, because that's when we first started getting 3 valves, and a lot of the 3 valves we were getting in the early part were not very great. It took a few years to get them really to sound better, but they did a great show. Drums amazing that year. 92, they were in 7th place. 93, they were in 7th place. 94, they're in 5th place with the Red Poppy, and you can see they kind of start hovering in that area. So they got Not the Nutcracker in 96, and then 97, 5th place again. Lemire, a really cool show. I actually really like that show. If you guys haven't seen that, go back and watch. That's really good. And then 98, 3rd place, and then of course, 97, 3rd place, 98, 2nd place, and then 1999, they tie with Blue Devils. So you can see kind of the rise in that time, and I'm glad that they're back on the field for 2024. Can't wait to see what they're going to do. I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring. So, okay, so I toiled a lot, like I said, about which show I was going to watch, Blue Devils or Santa Clara. Because for me, that's the only 2 choices I had for 99. There's a lot of other shows that year. And Blue Devils is the one I've listened to a lot. When I went back and watched 99 Santa Clara, I was like, oh yeah, that was so cool. They did a lot of cool stuff. So that's why I decided to pick 99 Santa Clara Vanguard. So we're going to watch that now. This show, what's the title? Let me pull up the title. I'm sorry. Inventions for a New Millennium. They did The Canyon, which is a Philip Glass tune, and some other very cool music this year. Just fantastic. Oh, it jumped me back to 91. Why did it do that? Symphony number 2, Symphony number 1, Blue Shades. Really cool music. Just really in Vanguard's wheelhouse. So here we go. Let's watch it. Okay. So look how much nicer the stadium looks. The field, it's AstroTurf. It's nice and bright. Really like the opening drill here. This build is really cool. vocals. Listen how clean that is. Like you can hear the spaces in between parts where it's just so quiet, which is where it should be. Ooh, nice, nice. Nice decrescendo. Guard doing a great job. Lots of color. Very together. Look at that drill. Very cool. I like that. And it's so, once again, it's just like yin and yang. Blue Devils versus Santa Clara. You know, which style do you like? I like both. Such a big sound. Would have loved to have been here at finals. Oh, look at that drill. Oh my gosh. So good. Nice. A lot of body visuals from the brass. Which is interesting. I really like the music. Really good music selections. Very drum core. Look at that drill. That's so cool. Nice. Very cool. Very Vanguard, man, I'm telling you. Kick-ass low brass. Drumline. And pit, of course. And the guard, man. All really good. That's why it's such a hard choice, because Blue Devils also, and they're equal, and that's why they score the same. And we're gonna look at the recaps, because pretty darn close in captions and stuff, if I remember correctly. Nice vibrato. And also two different styles. I mean, Blue Devils is, jazz and laid back, and then you have very militaristic Santa Clara, very proper. It's always interesting to see those two cores, just such opposites, but they're both, really good. Some really great playing going on. Oh, I like this view. Oh, come on, I'll go back to that view. You can really see the staging and stuff. That's good. Nice ripple from Santa Clara. The guard there. Very jazzy. Interesting to see the recaps and like where the differences were. A lot of cool moments in the show. Love this piece. This is a cool piece. Doing the same move again. Very cool. They morph it. Nice. Very cool. Okay. All right, so let's go back here. So I'm going to pull up the recaps here. Excuse me. I'm going to pull up the recaps. I want to see where they placed in terms of like captions and stuff like that. So give me 1 second while I prepare that. Hope you guys have enjoyed this series. It's been fun making it. I am going to be doing other series. So stay tuned. Like I said, we're going to have lots of videos. If you have not subscribed, now would be a great time to do so, because we're going to have lots of content coming out. Like I said, you're probably seeing videos every other day, sometimes every day. So we want to make sure we're able to provide that content. But it helps us if you guys subscribe. That way you get notified when we have cool videos. And then also, there's other ways we're going to talk about at the end of the video that you can help support this channel. But let's go ahead and get to the recaps. So, okay, so let's look at the recaps here. So we're mainly going to be focusing on Blue Devils and Vanguard, but I will point out some other things if they pop up here. So, GE 39.5 to a 39.7. So they actually beat Blue Devils in GE. They got a 19.9 in visual versus a 19.8, and then they got 19.8 in music versus a 19.7. So 2/10 there. I don't know. Okay. We're going to move on. Ensemble music. So 14.9 to a 14.8, 14.7 to a 4. So visual is where they, Blue Devils, beat them, and it looks like by 1/10. It looks like Cavaliers and Cadets both tied in that caption. And then Performance Brass a 9.9 to a 9.8. And then Percussion 9.5 to a 9.4. And it looks like Cavaliers won that caption. And look at Phantom, 9.0 down there. Visual 9.9 went to the Blue Devils, and Performance to a 9.8. So 29.2 to a 29.1. So 2/10 here, 1/10. And then another 1/10. So they ended up tying. So interesting. Wow. Really close. I mean, Blue Devil show, complete opposite show. Just like rhythmic, like goodness throughout that entire show too. So I highly recommend watching that. So a lot of great. The 90s were so cool, man. It was the end of the G Bugle. And I think that's why a lot of people talk about the 90s so much. And I talk about the 90s because that's the main years I was an adult, right? I turned 18 in 1990. Like I said, I was born the first year DCI was on the field in 72. So I was part of the age outs in 93 that were the age outs of drum corps, technically. And then 25th, I was 25. So, you know, it's kind of cool that I share everything with DCI in terms of like birth date and stuff like that. But 99 was just the end of an era. It was the end of, like I said, the bugles went away because they were just too expensive. And now the B flats are just as expensive, if not more, but there's more manufacturers. But I don't know. I like the bugle better. I think the bugle sounds better. It was easier to tune because I've taught brass and stuff for the last 30-something years in B flat in high school, and it's much harder to get those things to be in tune. We can get in tune. There's a lot of groups that are in tune. Blue Devils are in tune now, and every group's in tune. But you didn't need as many people to project as you did with the B flat horn. So I mean, it's literally like 1.5 people to equivalent to a G bugle. So that's my opinion. You guys tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Also, make sure you visit our community page. That's where you can help support this channel. We really do need it. You can subscribe. That's one way to help. Another way is to become a part of our community. You can join our memberships where we offer different perks. We also have our merchandise store where you can get some great stuff. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, stuff for your kids. If you want a onesie, we have that kind of stuff too. Basically anything you can possibly think of. We have stuff for your dog on there. It's just crazy. I love this site. It's sponsored by Spreadshop, so it's a great store. So please visit that and please help support this channel, we would also really appreciate that. And make sure that you join us for the podcast, which are going to occur every single week in the summer of 2024, starting in June. We had our first one the previous week. This one, I'm not sure when you're going to see this video. It may be after our second podcast. So it's going to be up in the corner there. You can go back and watch the podcast. But we go over lots of different things. Show reveals, any scorers, recaps. We're going to be analyzing it all, talking about it all, only here on the Marching Arts Network. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me on this series. If you've missed any part of the series, go back and watch it from the beginning and watch all the great shows. So thank you. We'll see you on the next video coming very, very soon. But until then, be safe, march on, and enjoy the summer.